So I want to talk about abstinence before marriage, and let me just say that this is not a religious conversation. I'm not going to make a moral argument. Uh, Non-religious people, they like to dismiss these kinds of discussions, because they say, well, it's just religious. It's fundamentalist. But I think it's kind of funny in a way. It's kind of ironic because those same non-religious people will also insist that you do not need to be religious in order to act with wisdom and prudence. And, that's religious people don't have a monopoly on that. They'll say, well, saving sex for marriage is without question the wisest and most prudent path. I don't think any rational person would deny that, or can deny it convincingly. Yet it is a wise and prudent path that we are told is only open to the religious. I disagree with that. I guess I have a higher opinion, of non-religious people than non-religious people have of themselves, because I don't see it that way. Yeah, it's true that religious people generally believe in saving sex for marriage. I mean, they believe in it. Ideally, how successful they are in following through is a different matter. But so it's true that they believe in it, but it's not true that you have to be religious in order to see the wisdom in such a strategy. And I think if you wish to address our most serious social problems, if you desire the benefits that could come from solving these problems, then you should advocate for abstinence before marriage, whether you're religious or not. It doesn't matter. This is a practical position. Now, it may be a spiritual position as well, but that's not, those two things don't necessarily have to be linked all the time. Like, I also believe that that murder is wrong, and I believe that spiritually. I believe it's wrong because the Ten Commandments says that it's wrong, because God says that it's wrong. But I would still advocate outlawing homicide, even if the Ten Commandments didn't exist. And I would hold that position for very obvious and practical reasons, right? Well, I think the same is true of saving sex for marriage. I'm not comparing, having sex before marriage to murder. I'm just saying that, you can make a very practical argument in favor of it. And I think anyone can see the benefits of that path, and anyone can pursue that path, regardless of religion. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about the great societal crises that could be solved, or at least greatly reduced, by keeping sex within the framework of a monogamous and lifelong marriage. So I'm not going to say anything. You'll notice I'm not going to say anything about sin or avoiding hell or anything like that. It's a different discussion from the one that I'm going to have right now. I want to talk about the temporal, practical benefits of this course. And I think that, it's a very difficult thing when we look at our cultural problems and we say, how are we going to solve these problems? But then at the outset, we rule out the most effective solutions. And it seems like we're always doing that. There's like the fundamental basic solution that gets right to the root of the problem. But we rule that out. We always rule those solutions out because those are lifestyle solutions. Those are solutions that require sacrifice and effort and hard work. And so we rule those out, and we say, no, not that, but let's find something a little bit further up on the tree, right? That we can, let's find a solution that's a little bit further up here, that's a little bit closer to the surface, a little bit more superficial, and therefore easier. And I just don't think it works. I think we have to get to the root of it, and that's the only way to solve some of these problems.